Hey guys, welcome back to another hideous video. I did promise that hideous content was coming, and here it is. So, what is this? This is the parts build that pretty much everybody will do at some time who's involved with hideous. You just buy that many spare parts that you kind of have a spare pistol laying about, and that's what this one is. So this is the Franken build. Now you can see I've already started doing a few tit bits to it. We've got some Waldo Customs Thunder grips, Thunder screw, Thunderbolt grip screw things on there that are pretty standout. And then if we turn it around here, we've got the Abomination up front. We've got the kind of the silver guide rod plug that you get when you buy a new slide, and we've got a purple guide rod, which is kind of a leftover from the Battle Cat build. So all in all, this is going to be a concoction of parts. It's going to be from some spare parts I've got lying about. It's going to be a couple of new parts where needed, mostly spares which are coming off the other Kappas. And then I'm just going to make anything I buy new for it, I'm going to try and make as hideous as I possibly can. So it does need a trigger. I might go for a gold trigger or a green trigger or something like that. It's going to need an outer barrel at some point. I'm going to go for something equally hideously coloured. I'm just going to make it unpleasant to look at, I think the wording is. So what we're going to do today, I've got a nice gold match frame for it to go on. That's going to be in the works, and we've got the bits. We've got a hammer and some trigger rings and that kind of thing to go in. But for this particular video, we're just going to do the top half. This is the original Make It 3D slide, which I trialed out for Make It 3D for Johnny and for Matt. So we're going to put this on. Now I am going to get some lightweight BBU and stuff for it, but for the purposes of this, I just want to get this thing going. It kind of sits on my pistol wall. It looks a bit sorry for itself. I just want to get it gone. Oh, well, started anyway. So as you can see, there's not a lot in the lower half of this. I'm going to do a slightly more detailed strip down and build when we do the bottom half and when we do start swapping that out. And you can see I've got some Froggo short strokes on here as well, ready to go. Now I don't know why I've not actually put 4 on here. That is the stock TM thingy spring as well, so I might end up doing that. In fact, we are going to end up doing that because I need to pull this out. Trying to do it all on camera so that you can see it and pull it into my chest is pretty difficult when you work over a table. So there we go. As you can see, there's lots of nastiness there. I'm just going to reach down here and get my parts box. One parts box. And we're going to pull out one of the spare Foggos that we have in here as well. Now there are some other spares, which I'm lining up for this. I'm probably going to go with a PDIW hold. Not quite decided what barrel I'm going to go for with this thing yet though. Not sure whether to go for a 5.1 barrel or a 4.3 length barrel, how slim I'm going to make that barrel, what brand I'm going to go for. I fancy going for a cheap one, if I'm honest. Been trying to source a ZCL one. I really like this, or ZCI, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I really like their barrels. They're just nice barrels, they're quality barrels. But what I don't see is that there's not a lot of them out at the moment. So I'm just going to pop those on there. Those are my Froggos. That's nice. They're nice tight washers. Let's do that. Just stop that from binding a little bit more on there. So that's a very fast recoil. Stock spring. It's going to be lightweight, so we probably don't need too much. I'm not going to fire this with the stock BBU in there because it will eat itself alive. And swap that through there. We're going to take the stock sight off. I'll probably put a fibre sight on it in time as well, but I just want to get this thing stripped down. Still in a bit of a mess from when I've recorded the MK23 video. I had to kind of leave in a hurry. And obviously the first Allen key that we go for doesn't quite fit, so we're going to take this screw out the back of there. I do love these kind of builds. The Franken builds are the ones where you just chuck a random concoction of parts together and they end up being like the staple of your life. They just work, and they work so well. And you go, oh my god, I never need anything better than this again. You end up shelving the super expensive builds because of it. So as it is, my super expensive build has been semi-shelved anyway, because of the issues I had with the hammer pad. They're all fixed now, but a part of me doesn't want to use it because it's just so damn pretty. So I end up using the 3D printed build anyway. So I could do with a new build. On top of that, I've got the Jungle Cat, which as a build that hasn't really started yet. I've kind of unboxed the slide and gone, yep, I need to do something with this, something really cool. And then I've kind of drawn a blank so far. And that's mostly because of colour choice, I think. I'm just not sure what to do with it. So, for anyone who's not done one of these yet, the stock TM ones, you just kind of flex them a little bit. They need a flex. I hate doing this. It just feels wrong. There we go. Now you come. Don't pull back on the nozzle. There we go. So, stock slide, gone. So, I'm not going to bother really lubing this or anything. I don't particularly need it to work. It will do. It was a brand new upper when I started. Because, again, the battle count just killed everything. But I don't need it to work. It's a heavyweight BBU. We've got stock everything in there. So, I'm just going to straight swap everything back in until I can get to a point where I've got replacements. So the beauty of that though is that everything just fits so well, because the guys that make it 3D, or the guys how they were now at AirTac, their eye for detail when they were making these things was just phenomenal. Like everything was done so tightly to tolerances. So you know, these stock TM parts are just crazy good fitment. Which is just, you know, fantastic, and it's kind of nice to do a slum build using them as well, because it just shows off, you know, how good the fitment of those parts actually is. That rear sight's going to change as well. I wish someone just did a version of this sight in aluminium. That would be my ultimate favourite. Fuck this 3D printed stuff. Fuck this AIP shit. You know, I don't need fibres down it. That is perfect for me. I don't know. Just that, just lightweight aluminium of that. That'll do me. Kind of like the MEU ones. Then this front sight, you'll see there is a little noggin on there. It was made to work, and made to work well. But this slide has had some hammer from me, so not awful. So that, again, just fits. Just fits. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. So I'm just going to rebuild this one up now. As you can see, we're completely stock in here. I've got some maple leaf bits, but I'm having some troubles with my other pistols with maple leaf bits at the moment. So I'm probably not going to fit them in. I think I'm going to W hold this one. I think I'm pretty much decided on that. That's interesting. That's not going out back as far as I wanted it to. I'm sure it'll be fine. And we'll string this one up. Oh. That's 4 short strokes on here now. Feels like I should green, blue them. Do you know what? I'm going to. Because it just looks a bit too uniform like that. So there we go. It's all tarty as well. It's all about being a tart with this thing. It's, you know, it's like, oh, it's the parts gun. Built it from spare parts. You know, it's like, I don't really care. It's gonna be the Joker of the pack. So it's gonna be a bit of an idiot. It's gonna be a bit of a party piece, but equally, I want it to be a party piece that bloody performs when you pull it out, and that's why I'm doing this. So we'll drop that slide on that, and again, the fitment on these slides. I'm not going to bother going too crazy with the, you know, lapping it in or racking it out or anything like that, because I don't need to. Because ultimately, I'm swapping the frame. But there we go. Look at that. So instant change there. You can see a much more aggressive profile with this slide. Much more snappy. I mean, that's with the stock spring as well. I've got a spare Edge 110, which I might chuck on this. In fact, I'm going to chuck the Edge 110 on this, because I know I can do. And I'm quite happy with that, yeah. So, there we go. Frankenstein has been started. We do have more parts. Please do hit that like button, drop me a comment, tell me what you think about this Frankenstein build, and sub to the channel so you can see how this thing progresses and you can see how spare parts builds go together and how it'll either work fantastically well or it will absolutely crash, burn, die, and I'll end up throwing it at a wall and pulling it apart into 1,000,001 pieces. Thank you very much if you stayed this far with me, and please, please, please do hit me up on my Instagram channel, which is now kind of starting to get some pictures on it. Thank you very much, guys. I will see you in the next one.